And welcome back, my rookery brothers, to Jalapeña, a last Airbender. No, it's a Gargoyles podcast. I'm getting my podcasts all mixed up. So yeah, Jalapeña. Look at that.
Yeah. You're living the podcast, mate. You don't just talk about it; you live by it.
I am. I don't know which one I'm talking about, but yes, I am. I am living it right now.
Yeah,
we are talking.
Which you just said was super hot, right? And you're like, oh,
yes.
man, hang on, I'm going to have a drink before we start the show. And you've just bitten into another one.
I am not a smart man. Oh, my goodness. So, speaking of not a smart man, if you have not seen this episode and you're thinking, oh, I need to click off before they reveal what's going on, before you click off, before we spoil everything, I'm going to say, don't read the Disney Plus synopsis of this episode because they spoil the heck out of it. And now I'm going to reveal to everybody what we're talking about. Episode 10, The Edge. Xanatos wreaks havoc across Manhattan in an armored gargoyle suit. That is literally the last scene in the episode. Literally the last scene. Disney.
The big reveal.
WTF, Disney. That's like saying in this dark comedy, the narrator and Jack are the same person. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. But yes, this is The Edge. I thought it was really cool because the first time I saw this episode, I was like, The Edge? The edge of what? I don't understand. And I didn't know what the heck the edge was until the end. And I thought that was masterful writing right there. But yes, this episode is The Edge. It starts out with David Xanatos and Owen. Again, don't underestimate Owen because in a sparring match, Owen whoops Xanatos' butt.
Very unusual to see. Yeah, yes. It's very unusual to see in these type of things. To see
but
the waiter, basically, butler.
Yeah, it gives you a great insight into Xanatos' character, though, and Owen. Because Owen whoops Xanatos, and then you see this oh crap moment. And Xanatos, of course, says, "You've never beaten me before. I could pretend to lose if you want me to." Xanatos looks at him and with anger says, "I'd fire you if you did." I love that about Xanatos' character. It's honestly admirable. Yeah. He wants people at their best. I've said it a million times. David Xanatos is not an evil person. David Xanatos is a true neutral. Not evil, not good. He's going to do what's best for David Xanatos. And I love that. I love that he surrounds himself with the best people. You know, some billionaires say, I surround myself with the best people, and they don't. David Xanatos surrounds himself with the best people. And I'm going to tell you something. If David Xanatos ran for president, I'd vote on him. I would vote on him because he would be concerned with his legacy. And I love that.
Well, they have certainly gone out of the way in the first 10 episodes that I've seen to paint a very complex antagonist.
Sometimes antagonist, sometimes not antagonist. It just depends on
sometimes protagonist. Sometimes
it depends on what Xanatos needs, or it depends on what he wants. If he wants something that the Gargoyles don't want him to have, he's an antagonist. If he wants something that will help the Gargoyles, then they're protagonists. I love the character because you never know where he's going to come from, but his motivations always make sense. If you gave David Xanatos a baby, Xanatos would be annoyed, but he would take care of it.
I have no doubt. He'd be a great father, probably.
Yeah, if I gave Demona a baby, she would eat it and make sure somebody was holding your eyes open so you could watch. Yeah. And then say, "That's what you get, stupid human."
Yeah.
Macbeth would take care of the baby too. I'm just saying. No. But things are getting more complicated because we've got a brand new character to worry about, and that's Matt Bluestone. Say hello to Matt.
He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, it's more fallout from the gunshot because Elisa's captain rightfully says, "You need a partner because you have literally been shot. You need a partner." So, yeah, Matt is Elisa's partner, and Matt is her partner from now on. He is a part of the show now. He's not a one and done character. He is now part of the mythology.
Well, by the end of the episode, I think that he's a good cop. like not a good guy, but a good cop.
Matt,
nothing to go. He's not stupid.
No, he's not stupid. He is a good cop. Yes, I'm not going to say where his character goes, but it's interesting. It's interesting how he weaves himself into Elisa's life because she doesn't want him there, but he's like, well, you got me whether you like it or not. Elisa drops off a TV for the Gargoyles, and then she visits Goliath, who is sorry, I forgot about that caption there. That's a joke just for you right there. Would not shut up about that.
He would tell you about everything about it when it was built, and
that's Captain Joe of the Captain's Quadrant. Whenever we went to Manhattan, he knew the history of everything. And he would tell you that guy missed his calling as a tour instructor, a tour guide.
And the irony is, the one day that we had to go in New York, we didn't have him available. So we had probably a built-in tour guide, but he had to work that day.
Yeah, I know.
Do better, Joe. Take more sickies.
Yes, please do. You took a sick day, but you're on this podcast walking these two idiots around Manhattan. Yeah, I can see why you didn't do that. But Goliath is, I think it is poignant that this library that gives Goliath this solitude and his quiet time frames his old home in windows so that he always has to look up at it, and he is always reminded of what he's lost. And he vocalizes it again here.
Oh, yeah.
We're out of our time, and the one thing that linked us to our old time is gone. It's been taken away from us. And that's SOB David Xanatos is up there doing his Xanatosian stuff.
But he's in a great place. I mean, he's in a library. Like, he's got well, not a library, but he's got access to all these books now.
Yep.
He's got access to learning material.
I loved the joke. Normally, whenever cartoons do jokes, they're kind of groan worthy. But whenever he walks in and Elisa says, what are you reading? Dostoevsky. Who's it by? And he just looks at her and annoyed, and she's kidding. She's like, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. That was a good joke. That was a good joke. I liked it. I watched it the first time. I was like, okay, if she's not kidding, I'm going to be really disappointed. But yes, Elisa and Matt go out on their first ride along, I guess. And okay, so have you noticed that they're basically Mulder and Scully with their hair switched?
Yeah. I did get that vibe, and I've been recently watching the X-Files again, so it felt very much like that.
Yeah,
because they're talking about conspiracies, and
he's talking about the Illuminati and Bigfoot and everything. It's Mulder and Scully. They've turned Elisa into Scully, and I think it's funny because in this case, Scully's hanging out with actual urban legends that she doesn't want Mulder to know about.
And
you know, this was the time that the X-Files was big, so I'm sure that Disney was sitting around the room with Greg Weisman going, kids like the X-Files. Put Mulder and Scully in it or you're fired. You see this hammer? Smash, smash goes your gargoyles if you don't do what Uncle Mickey wants. But yes, not Mulder and not Scully are getting to know each other. Matt Bluestone is a conspiracy buff. He has got all of these crazy conspiracy theories. And Elisa, even though she knows that they're actual gargoyles, you can tell she doesn't buy most of it. Sorry, Mulder, I don't. But the gargoyles flipping through TV channels, who do they notice? But it's David Xanatos, and he is donating the Eye of Odin to a museum. And I know what you're saying, Jason. How did you remember the name of this jewel? It becomes important later. That's how I remember.
Oh, okay.
There are 3 artifacts that become very important. We've already been introduced to the Grimorum Arcanorum, the spell book of the mage.
Yeah.
This is the Eye of Odin. It also becomes important, and there's one more coming down the pipe.
Oh,
and those are the 3 major things that become important to the gargoyles.
I haven't spoken about it. This is a little side thing, but it is matters. I just want to thank you. You found something on the weekend that obviously added to your collection. You found another Gargoyles figure. I just want to say thank you for going out of your way to blur it and actually put in the note. Hey, I don't want to tell you what it is because I don't want to spoil it for him, but I am so want to know what it is. So I'm looking like if you were to guess, right? If you were to guess How long do I have to wait till I find out? Is it like, oh no, you got another season, Jay?
About one third of the way through the second season is whenever this character is introduced.
All right.
And when this character is introduced, the big reveal about this character is not that hard to guess. So I think whenever this character is introduced, you can go, oh right, I'll get it. Okay, now show me the action figure.
I'm all over it.
Show me the action figure, damn you. It's this one. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. It's just Animorph. Wow. Hey, look, cross branding. You know what I mean?
Hey, you know.
They were ahead in their Fox
it's this one.
Disney merger. Oh, yeah, that's another nice one, too. You got that recently, didn't you?
I just got it today, as a matter of fact. I was going to get it whenever you and I were together in Jersey with Captain Joe, and you ended up picking up the figure I wanted, and I thought, you know what? He came all the way from Australia. It's fine. He can have it. I don't care.
Oh, why? What did I grab? I grabbed.
No, you got Mechaneck.
Yeah, I got Mechaneck.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's Mechaneck. It's not the neck. You know, it's a false neck you have to attach.
Oh, that makes me so mad. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
I have the vintage one. I have the vintage one where you twist his stomach and like the neck pops out. So much better. So much better. With you, Origins and Masterverse, you should have done it right. You let us down. You let us down.
Give us all this great detail, and then you miss out on the most basic element. Anyway, we're not here to. This is
this kind of went off the rails, didn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, David Xanatos is donating the Eye of Odin to a museum because it's a tax write-off, and I love how he's just like, well, you know, I'm paying my debt back to society, and also it's a great tax write-off. Such a businessman, he doesn't care. He does not care. Of course, Goliath.
He's a good PR man for himself too. He knows how to handle his brand, doesn't he?
He is. Of course, Goliath is watching this on TV, and of course, Drama Queen's out.
Let it go, dude. Let it go.
I have never screamed at the news once, and I've seen some really bad news throughout my lifetime. I've never felt the need to scream at the TV. Mm-hmm. Never once. Maybe when, maybe during the '84 Olympics. Maybe. Why didn't we win more? We won all of them.
Yeah, you won everything.
So Goliath takes his gargoyles and they fly to the Erie building because he's going to have a word with Xanatos. Xanatos wants to have a word with him too. He's just like, hey, I've got a research facility up in, oh, you know what? I skipped a step. Okay, oh my gosh, my stuff is out of order because my pictures didn't upload. Oh my gosh, thank you, StreamYard. Yeah, pictures gone. So anyway, the Eye of Odin is stolen. The Eye of Odin is stolen from the museum by a gargoyle-like creature. I had a joke on the slide, and everything. It was the silhouette of the gargoyle against the moon, and it said nonchalantly whistles the Batman theme. It was a great joke. Thank you, StreamYard, for messing it up. And they kind of come to the realization that it's the Steel Clan robots from the pilot. David Xanatos has rebuilt them, and he's framing the Steel Clan, so great.
It's Steel Clan.
Steel Clan. The Boulder likes the Steel Clan. But anyway, David Xanatos is framing them. He's making the public hate the gargoyles because, like you said, he's a good PR man. And whenever they come to confront him about it, he says, hey, you know what? Let's have a compromise. I have a research facility upstate that you guys can go hang out in.
Yeah. Where we would never try an experiment on you, ever.
Yeah. We just need like a few pints of blood every couple of months. You know, we may clone some abnormal aberrations. But it'll be fun. We got a 60-inch TV.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have said the words research facility, but I think David likes to be upfront.
Yeah, that's another thing I like about him is that he's not a liar. He will tell you exactly what's going on. I mean, yeah, he schemes and he keeps information from you, but he won't lie to your face. If they came up to you and said, David, do you have a nuclear weapon underneath the Capitol? He'd say, yeah, I do. You'll never stop it, by the way. Oh, you've got it in your hands right now. Damn. But I could just see him pitching it that way. You know, it's a research facility. It's upstate. We have an 85 inch television said, "Hey, well, let's go then. Come on, Goliath, let's go. Do you have cable TV? I hear cable TV is really good. We have streaming. I don't even know what that is, but I will.
That's it. I would wonder what they would think of the current form of television in that at the moment. There's still much to watch.
I'm sure that they would all be
episodic television.
I'm sure they would all be happy that Gargoyles is one of Disney Plus's most streamed series. Give us the continuation, Disney. Give us the continuation. Do it while we still have the amazement and awesomeness that is Keith David still here with us.
Please.
But yeah, needless to say, Goliath's answer is and he runs away with the Gargoyles. But then they are ambushed by the Steel Clan, who comes after them.
They look cool though. Steel Clan looks cool.
They do look cool, and the new red one is really cool. I feel like Lilo and Stitch. Like, oh no, they've got the red one. But yeah, I like the color scheme. It's really good.
Do you think the other Gargoyles get a bit annoyed? So, they made them all look like Goliath, didn't they?
Well, Goliath is the hot one. I mean, I think
he's the most built.
I think that Brooklyn could look up there and go, "Why do they all look like Goliath?" And never mind, they're all sexy. Why are they all so sexy? Look at them, Broadway. Yeah, they're really sexy. Lexington pops up next to them. Did you guys notice how sexy that? Yes, Lexington, we know.
We know.
So the Steel Clan are fighting the Manhattan Clan, and they end up at the Statue of Liberty because eventually every action scene in New York City ends up at the Statue of Liberty, which is a relief because I don't think that they staged any action sequences on the World Trade Center, which that episode probably would have gotten pulled from rotation by this point. I do have to give Disney props, though, that they did not remove the World Trade Center from the episodes, that they're still there, and I fully appreciate that they have not done that because we've seen a few.
Right respect.
We've seen a few series and movies do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. But anyway, there's a big fight. Long story short, the Steel Clan robots are all destroyed except for the red one because the red one's awesome. And the red one apparently is very smart because it looks at the other two robots and decides, I'm going to nope out. I don't think I'm going to win this fight.
I think you had some of your jalapeno poppers by the look of it.
I think so. Hold on.
Yeah, just as the fire shooting out there.
I'm just going to shoot out some way. It's either going to come out this way or the escape hatch. Oh, my God.
Shouldn't have done that. Pretty cool. We'll put the podcast on pause for a while.
I'm good. I don't know why I did that in the middle of the podcast, though.
It works.
But anyway, it's time for the reveal. It turns out that the red Steel Clan robot was actually an exosuit, and David Xanatos was in there the whole time. And that's where we get the name of the episode, was whenever he says, I've still got the edge. And you realize the entire episode was about David Xanatos trying to reclaim his edge. Because no one's better at edging than David Xanatos.
That his biggest weakness to me would be his narcissism.
Yeah,
that's what it revealed to me, because his ego has to be constantly fed with that man. He had no reason to get inside that suit except for ego, really. He's got the technology to ensure that he could have been remotely controlling that thing. But he has to be himself because he needs to know he's got the edge.
Well, you also have to look at it from his point of view. He just spent months in prison. And what happens whenever he gets out? His own butler beats him in hand-to-hand combat. So now Xanatos is having a bit of a crisis. Yeah. Can I still hang with the big boys? And so this entire scheme from beginning to end was really nothing more than David Xanatos reassuring himself that he can still be the best Xanatos that he can possibly be. And I like that. I like that they turn it around and make it an episode about Xanatos, and you didn't know it was about Xanatos the entire time. How Xanatos got his groove back.
Isn't it? It's telegraphed at the beginning. Not only by the crap description in Disney Plus, but by that fight in the beginning. You made me just realize that fight in the beginning with his offside is so important because
And they even drop a clue, because where do they put the episode title? Right there.
Yeah, right there.
So,
Right. But it makes total sense. It's just good writing, because at the end of the day, he's that type of character that he finds a weakness in himself and he immediately goes about to rectify it.
a lot of people made an observation about Tony Stark and how he learns from his mistakes. You know, at one point in Iron Man 3, he almost freezes to death. So he makes Peter Parker's Iron Spider suit have a heater on the inside. You know, just things like that.
Yeah.
Xanatos is the same way. Xanatos learns from his mistakes and he tries to be better each time. Xanatos is Tony Stark, because even, I mean, come on, he's Iron Man.
Yeah, he's literally Iron Man.
He was Iron Man before Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man. I'm not going to say
he was Iron Man before Iron Man was popular.
Yeah, before that it was.
This is the thing that kids forget. Before 2008, Iron Man was a C-grade character at best in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Okay, he was part of the Avengers and that, but he'd been forgotten about very much. He wasn't really, a big part of the Marvel Universe.
Imagine how you feel about Green Lantern.
Yeah.
That was Iron Man.
Yeah.
I love Green Lantern, but a lot of people loved Iron Man too. But yeah, nobody looked at this.
Not the film.
Yeah, nobody looked at this and said, "Oh yeah, that's totally Iron Man." Everybody looked at this and said, "Oh, that's cool. He's an iron gargoyle." Yeah. I honestly believe that if Iron Man had come out about the same time Gargoyles was on, everybody'd be saying, "Oh my gosh, they're ripping off Gargoyles."
Yeah.
Even though
the other really good thing about that too is, like, he wanted to know he had the edge, but he also, it was revealed that he could stand toe-to-toe with Goliath. And that was a big deal for him.
And I love how he says, "I stood toe-to-toe with the greatest warrior in the world." He respects Goliath.
Definitely.
He respects him. And that's another reason why I just love this character. As I said, true neutral. He doesn't care. He knows he's not going to delude himself into thinking that Goliath is weak. He knows exactly how strong Goliath is, and he's either going to use that to his advantage or he's going to figure out how to get an advantage over that. David Xanatos is a fascinating character, and I love that I'm just revisiting this because I think it's great.
I don't know if I could argue the fact that makes him even more of a villain, because he's neutral. He becomes more dangerous and more threat. You can't get a read on him. If you can't get a read on him, then he's unpredictable. If he's unpredictable, he could be a terrifying villain.
At the same time, I know I made a joke about it, but David Xanatos is not one of those kind of people who's going to put a nuclear weapon in the middle of Manhattan.
No.
Because that's where he keeps all of his stuff.
Yeah.
You can kind of get a read on him whenever you realize he does best for what is best for his own interest. And once you realize that, you're just like, okay, I get it now. I see how he's going to sway from one way to the other. And, like I said, he's a fascinating character. And we're going to see more. We're going to see more of
such a great job by Jonathan Frakes, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, such good. I wish I'd seen you do more voice acting. I don't feel like I saw even.
I could not imagine anyone else playing this part.
Right.
There for a while, there was supposed to be a live action Gargoyles movie made in the 90s, and they were going to have Jonathan Frakes play Xanatos. They were going to have Marina Sirtis play Demona.
You'd have to, right?
Unfortunately, as time is linear, I don't think that would quite work out anymore. But that being said, I could not imagine anybody else stepping into the role.
Sorry, I was going to say, especially when you don't have the picture here, after what we saw last week with the Disney parks, Goliath.
Oh, dear, no.
Yeah, it looked like a PlayStation 1 version of Goliath.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, that's not good. But yes, we're going to see much more of David Xanatos in the future, and many more of the clan. So I do hope that you continue to join us, and please consider joining our Patreon. You can find information on that in the video description below, and you can become a member of our YouTube channel, our YouTube family, our YouTube clan, our very own Steel Clan.
Yeah, the Jason clan.
The Jason clan. The Jason's clan. Ooh,
Yeah,
I don't know if
we'll figure out a better
I like
name
Jay
later.
Sons. Yes, but be sure to join us next time because we got another exciting episode of Gargoyles to revisit here on Jalapeña, a Gargoyles Garcast. Oh my God. Oh.
Why are you doing that to yourself?
I just farted and caught the kitchen curtains on fire.
The cat's hair singed.
Murder Bean, come back. Daddy's sorry.